Plato lived 400 years before Jesus. And Plato therefore didn't know about Jesus' radical teachings about servanthood, selfless love, the greatest is the one who serves. Jesus flipped ethics on its head in a profound way that's changed history and has given us our democratic freedoms and much more. Plato looked at all the different types of government and he thought to himself, I think this idea of democracy sounds good, but it's never going to work, and so he gave up on it. And the next slide here, this is the outline of his train of thought summarised. Democracy seems good because it seems to give people their freedoms. The problem is you treat people equally who are actually equal and unequal alike, to quote. So, in other words, there's people who are more intelligent than others, there's people who are more hardworking than others. Our equality of opportunity, we all get to go to school, we can all choose to start a business, we can all work hard. Unfortunately, equality of opportunity doesn't produce equality of outcome because some are more successful than others. Now, the problem with this is that if there's greed in a society and a lack of charity, which there was in the ancient world, one historian I read of couldn't find a single example of a charitable organisation existing to help the poor prior to the time of Christ, as an example, then basically this gap becomes less and less until the poor say, we don't have equality. And they want all the government's money. And once they've got that, they want all the rich people's money. So you can tax the living daylights out of them to pull them down, but eventually you're going to have to overthrow them because they've become powerful. In which case you've got anarchy and you've got chaos. And then out of the chaos, someone needs to rescue us because now we're all killing each other and everything's terrible. And out of this comes the dictator or the tyrant. And he said, this is inevitable. You can't stop this flow, so give up on democracy, it's never going to work. The best you can hope for, says Plato, is the philosopher king. And to give it to you in different words, it's the benevolent dictator. This is a dictator with a kind heart who kind of looks out for you. And this is what his island of Atlantis was all about. This ideal socialist state in which you owned no possessions, you owned no land. There was a ruling class and a ruled class, but the guy at the top was kind of kind-hearted. But he said the chief problem with this idea is this. One day the benevolent dictator will die. So who will take power? But you see, he had to reject the idea of democracy for a simple reason. There was no ethic or value system on earth that could compel people to relinquish power and to give away their wealth. You see, capitalism is your right to invest money and to keep your return on investment. That's capitalism. So at its base level, it's a freedom, and it's a great freedom. You have a right to get an education, to work, to start a business, and to keep what you earn from that business. The problem with capitalism is that if the love of money gets hold of you, it can actually become the cause of many evils.